Looking the way they are supposed to be looking in here. Y'all looking like, I see my fellas looking like kings, right? And I see my ladies looking like queens. And that's what we like to see. All right, so we brought y'all in here today because, as you know, we have a very important election coming up. Very important. And it's very important for y'all to do what? Get out and vote. When is the voting date starting? Starting today for early registration, right?
Early voting.
Early voting, I'm sorry, has already begun. When is the main date? November 8th. All right, so today I want to talk to you about a few things, and we definitely want to dispel any rumors or any myths that you may have about voting. But we do know there's some talk going around that many of us may not vote. And it's understandable emotion. And that emotion, from what I've been hearing, is really coming from that our vote don't count. Our vote doesn't matter. It doesn't even matter at all, right? That it don't matter. The Electoral College, our popular vote doesn't even matter. So I want to talk to y'all today about that. How do y'all feel about voting? What are some of your honest emotions about it? And remember, when you speak, please stand. Talk to us. Yes.
Good morning. I'm Michaela. I feel as if everyone should vote. I know a lot of us don't agree with neither candidate, but I feel like when you don't vote, it goes for the person that you absolutely don't want to win. So even if you may not like a certain person, you may like some of their traits or some of the qualities that they're bringing, so you should still voice. You know, with this election, there's going to be a lot of outcomes for people that's in the military, a lot of us that's a minority, a lot of people that have kids. Like, it's a big thing for a lot of us. It may not mean something to some of y'all, but for some of us, like, it's a huge thing. So when you vote, I don't think that you should just think about yourself, but also think about your peers and the people that's around you.
Nice. Well said. Yes.
I'm Brianna. I think you guys should vote and write in Bernie Sanders like I did. So.
Still voting for Bernie, huh?
I feel like, honestly, since there are so many people that you can write in, or libertarian votes or whatever, but the majority is really Republican or Democrat, and if you really don't want Trump, honestly, every vote not for Hillary is a vote for Trump. So you can easily let him win by not going for Hillary, because honestly, no offense to you, but writing in Bernie Sanders, there's not enough votes to get him in. Writing in a libertarian, there's not enough votes to get them in. So it's going to be Hillary or Trump. So you really need to, honestly, I really don't want Hillary, but I know I damn sure don't want Trump, so I'm going to vote for Hillary.
Word. Say that. Did y'all know, and some people don't know, did y'all know that you can actually vote for who you want to vote for? Yeah. Everybody know that? Some people don't know that. You only think you can vote for who's on the ballot, but you can vote for whoever you want. You can vote for yourself. Put your name. You might be the sole vote, but you can do that. Just letting you know. Yeah.
Mr. Gentry for president.
All right.
Hey,
I just want to say that if we give up our right to vote, then we're essentially giving up on our country, and we're giving up on ourselves in this country, because if we give up our right to vote, then we don't have a voice in the election, and we don't have anything to say about the policies that are going to be implemented when this person is going to be the president. So if we're giving up on our country and we're not taking a stand for somebody, and we're not saying, hey, at least I'm standing here, and then once this happens, once this person is in, we can roll with it from there. But if we're not voting, then we're giving up on our peers, we're giving up on the people that are all around us, and we're giving up on ourselves with this country.
Good morning. My name is Mario. It's important to vote. It's also important to vote because it's not just a presidential election. There's certain smaller bills, but there's certain amendments that we need to vote for, especially with education, because as you can see, Atlanta is really changing. It's really going into full force, and they're coming in, taking changing completely our inner city schools, and not really doing it for the students, more like a profit. So certain things that we need to vote for other than the presidential election. So I feel like voting, not just for presidential election, but education, because you gotta understand, once we leave and become corporate America, you still have brothers and sisters and cousins who still have to come through these inner city schools, and Atlanta public schools, where I came from, they're trying to change that also. So just vote for that also.
And what is that on the ballot? Is that number one?
Yeah, I think it's the first, yeah.
I'm not too. I haven't done my research as I should. I don't know everything about number one. Anybody know any details about it? Okay, well, go ahead and say your comment.
Hello, everyone. I'm Mercedes. Since he brought up that point, I think there's number two. When you vote, don't just vote for the presidents or yes, those. But also look, like you said, look further into it, because I know like number two is about trafficking, and I know that they're trying to pass a bill that the adult entertainment actually has to pay more to help the girls that come out of human trafficking. So it's actually a really big impact. You know, Atlanta is number one in the United States, or I think in the world, for human trafficking, especially females. So it's a really big thing for everyone to also look further down into voting, so we can have rights for those people.
Great point. Step it up. Y'all remember that's a true fact that Atlanta is number one in human trafficking. I saw some of your eyebrows raised like, huh? Or why is that? You understand that Hartsfield-Jackson is the busiest airport in the country. It's the hub of our country. So everything comes in and leaves out of Atlanta. That's why Atlanta's number one in human trafficking. Yes.
Good morning, I'm Brittany Hubbard. I was just saying personally, I feel like even if you don't like the news or you feel like they're lying, watch the news or look up CNN, because people are saying what to something that they just did a special on. Like, this is going on right in front of y'all faces, and y'all should be aware of it, because it could be anybody's sister. I know my sister had to walk home at night sometimes, while now I try to get her. So it can be anybody's family member where we need to pay attention a little bit more to the news, one, and you don't have to watch it. If you don't, 5 o'clock, 11 o'clock, 6, or whenever you get to watch it, just go to CNN. If you have to, look it up, whatever, just watch the news, read it.
Okay. Good comment. Be aware.
Also piggybacking off of what Mercedes said. Also, one of our corporate partners at Europe is hands-on with changing the Second Amendment.
It's Kathy Dowling.
Miss Dowling, yeah. So Miss Dowling, she encouraged y'all to vote that they change it. Support her in the Second Amendment, especially the Europe program. She hopes that y'all have her support in this, because that's something they really can.
Okay. Can we have that real talk moment now? Who, and this is no judgment zone in here always, right? You know how we do, no judgment. Who's not going to vote, and what's a good reason not to? Who's not going to vote? Be honest. Let's be 100. Yes. Talk to us.
So the reason I'm not going to be able to vote is because I'm not a citizen. It's not that I want to, but I just can't.
Okay, well that's different. We definitely understand that. Yes. Well, let me make a point real quick. For some of you who do want to vote, you got to remember, it's people in this country who can't vote. Not only people have died to vote, but there's people who can't vote as well, who want to be in your position and can't. Just keep that in mind, y'all. Yes.
So I am not registered to vote. Maybe if the election would have been with Barack Obama, I would have registered because I knew I wanted to vote for him, but at the time I was not old enough. And now that I'm old enough, it's not even about the candidates, because I acknowledge and I understand that the candidates are just puppets. Even once they become president, it's only so much they can do. It's the people above them that makes these decisions. And I'm not voting for the people that's in the Senate or the Oval Office, because those are the people that make the real regulations and laws that we live by. And that's not what we get to vote for. So I'm not saying my vote won't make a difference, but me not voting or me voting for somebody, regardless of what they're up on the poll saying, that's not what they can make happen, because their reach can go only so far. So that's why I have not.
Thank you for your honesty. I appreciate that. Thank you. We'll go this whole back up. Yes, I'm sorry, Ms. Bell, and then we'll go to Ms. Scott.
I definitely agree with what you're saying, but they are puppets, but also once they are in, it's more likely to have a Democrat background or a Republican background, depending on who the president is. Like, because they can appoint certain people within there, and so it kind of does it. Now, you might not get the opportunity, like, to appoint many people, but at least if we have a party that stands with what you agree with, it'll be a little more better than just letting whoever win, because they are puppets at the end of the day. But at least having a Democrat if you have a Democrat president, at least you'll be able to get some more Democrat Congress appointed.
Really, just this whole election situation is overwhelming in itself, and I kind of just want to like crawl up under a rock and hibernate and wait till everything's over.
Okay. Stating their opinions and stuff.
I voted yesterday, but I did not want to vote. I was forced to vote. But I did not want to vote because I have people telling me that if I picked the person who I wanted to vote for, and you're sitting here telling me that, okay, if I pick this person, then my vote basically, it doesn't matter, but it doesn't, well, to me, yeah, that's how I took it, basically saying that my vote doesn't matter. But you can't tell me that my vote matters, and the person that I want to vote for, you tell me that it don't matter if I vote for that person. So that's basically why I didn't want to vote.
Thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing that. You feel like your vote, whoever you vote for, just doesn't matter.
Yeah, like Mo was just saying, like if you vote for, if you like a vote not for Hillary is a vote for Trump, or I don't want to.
Right.
Whatever. But you can't sit here and tell me that my vote matters, my vote count, my opinion matters, and then you tell me, okay, I pick the person that I vote for, and then you tell me that it doesn't matter. Like that's.
Let's clarify. Let's clarify. You mean like if you vote hypothetically for Hillary, it may not matter? You saying that it won't? Your popular vote doesn't count?
I'm saying like, okay, so if I wanted, well, for me, I did vote for the third party. So telling me that I voted for the third party is basically saying that I voted for Trump. No, I voted for the third party, and I voted for the person that I wanted my vote to go towards.
Right. And where you feel like it may not count is because it won't be enough people voting probably for the third party.
No, I feel like my vote count no matter what. So
Okay.
no matter what nobody has to say, because it's my vote.
All right. And that's one of the things, I'm glad she said that, because we have to remember ideology. It's all about your perspective and ideology. Ideology is your set of beliefs, right? How you feel about it, what you believe. I saw another hand up.
Yes. Actually, I just wanted to say that people might say that it doesn't matter because of the different policies that our candidates want to implement once they're in office. But in all reality, this election is vitally important because court officials are going to be elected by the president that we are about to elect into office. So this is going to last for years after this presidency term is over. So this election does matter in that sense because the court officials that are going to be making laws and that are going to be writing bills and to be passing the things that we need every day in every single state are going to matter for years after this. So it's important to research who is supporting which court officials.
That's true. We'll take two more comments. Yes.
Adding on to that, personally, I mean, I hope not to offend nobody, but personally to me, I don't want to vote in this election because I feel as if the candidates, they're not sincere. Like, for instance, for me, personally, Trump, I feel as it's a publicity stunt. That's what I feel like. Like, he's just doing it just because. And I feel as if Hillary wants to help the country, but to a certain extent. It's not to the full degree or full power she wants. So that's why I'm not really so engaged in this election because at the end of the day, I mean, like going back, you know, when Obama, he was going for presidency, you could see the passion in him actually wanting to. But now you're seeing these candidates such as Trump or Hillary, you don't see that same passion anymore.
Honest statement. Honest statement. How many more people feel the same way he does by a show of hands? Just like I know Trump doesn't really want to be the president. Hillary's going to only do so much. You don't feel like you have a strong candidate with passion, right? Who really wants to make a real difference. And a lot of people feel that way, y'all. That's one of the issues. Yes.
I feel like we did have a candidate like that, Bernie Sanders, but we all dropped the ball because he wasn't chosen. Like, I think it was some kind of votes that they were having where we could vote between Clinton and Bernie to who we wanted to represent. Yeah, to who we wanted to represent the Democratic Party. I didn't even know when this was happening. I didn't find out until Bernie lost that we could go out and vote for either Bernie or Hillary. So I feel like, I don't know, drop the ball with that. Now we have a little
I'm so glad you said that because that's a problem. A lot of times my people perish because of lack of knowledge. And a lot of times the knowledge isn't just given to you. You have to find out for yourself. There's something called the primaries where they even figure out who's going to be their Democratic or Republican candidate, right? Now, a lot of times what we do is primarily we're only focused on the big election. We don't focus on the primaries or who's in our local leadership. So our local leaderships, they are the ones who our state representatives and our senators. We don't even vote for them. And that's during the primary. Those are the people who are in the House of Congress. Those are the people who may approve or block the president's bill. That's why our Congress was majority Republican, and they wouldn't pass anything that our president was doing. They kept fighting him. He kept running up against brick walls. So it's so important that you vote in these local elections, these primaries, and vote for your state representatives who you want to represent you. Because understand that there's you have to have an electoral college, right? 539 votes. 539 votes. And where do those votes come from? The states. The states. 439 state representatives vote on your president, on who's going to become the president. 100 of those, which is 2 from each state, are your senators, who you voted for or did not vote for, right? And they make the decision. They have to have 270 electoral votes to become president. And just for that thought alone is why one of the reasons so many people feel like their vote doesn't count. It does, but people feel that way because it's really decided by the what? The electoral college. So we have to vote in our primaries. All right. The last comment, and we wrapping it up.
Okay, so I'm Christopher Brownlee. What I was going to say was, start off with what he was talking about, is that after the presidential election this year, in 2018 is the midterm elections when all the senators or congressmen are up for re-election. And if you don't vote then, it also generally means, and this kind of goes into what I'm going to say next, and generally when there's a low amount of people who vote, it generally has a very red outcome, even in presidential elections. So always remember that if you don't go out to vote, it's generally going to probably end a certain way.
Yeah. Thank you for saying that. Y'all understand what you said about a red outcome, right? The Republicans. So whatever you are, whatever you decide to do, don't sit stagnant, right? Don't sit stagnant. Running water will always stay fresh. Okay? So that means you always got to be moving. Always be doing something. Even if you feel like your vote doesn't count, please vote. I understand your feelings. It's not enough passionate candidates. I understand your feelings. We got the left wing and we got the right wing, and it's all a part of the one same bird. I understand your feelings, but too many of our ancestors and people before us have died for you to have the right to vote. For President Barack Obama to be in there right now. Okay? So make sure whatever you do something. Get out there and vote, okay? I appreciate the realness. I appreciate everything y'all said. Y'all get back to class. Have a blessed day.